Hi, my name is Ace.
And I'm Jason.
And welcome to the Guitar Show Live podcast in association with SAE. We've been having some real fun. We've been talking to the artists, we've been down in the show, we've been talking to the manufacturers as well, and we've got some great stories and some real fun things to share with you about the whole show, spotting out the community, the whole lot.
Yeah, we got 20 episodes that are going to roll out over the next year, so strap yourselves in.
So here we are, we're at the Cranmore Guitar and Bass Show. It's been an amazing day so far. It's a fantastic, it's an amazing community. Everybody is spodding out, they're buying stuff, they're trying things. It's a community. It's hugs all round downstairs, right? And so we're going to talk to Danny Sapko. How are you doing, Danny?
Fantastic, man. I've just come off stage. And I've been lured into this room. Didn't know what was going on, but yeah, nice one.
How was it for you in there? How was it for you?
Yeah, it was interesting because we've got a stall here at the show as well. So my mind was preoccupied on that, really. And so I didn't really have anything planned for the show. So I thought I'll just bring a few instruments on, do a few Q&As and stuff like that, you know. Unfortunately, there were so many questions by the end, and I did so much talking that I didn't play half the instruments I brought on stage, you know what I mean? When you come on with a bit of a plan, it just didn't work out like that. And, yeah, we had a lovely time. It's great because it's so much of what I do is on YouTube, it's great to do it in the flesh.
Yes,
you know?
yeah.
Actually meet the people who are leaving these comments, put a face to them. They can do the same to me. They can ask questions I can ask honestly without fear of YouTube copyright or censorship or anything. So yeah, it's been an amazing day so far. I'm looking forward to tomorrow.
Amazing. So which stand are you on with downstairs?
We're upstairs. So
Upstairs.
We're in
that's right.
We're in the bass show bit upstairs, which is the nicer bit. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
There's so many. It's so busy downstairs with all the guitarists and stuff. Upstairs, we've got our little bass cupboard, and I've got a little stall there, and I'm just selling all our merch that we do for the YouTube channel.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's
right.
But
we've got stuff like strap locks and other little bits you can use as well for your bass.
And like slogan T-shirts and stuff like that. Yeah, exactly. So for you as a bass player, do you primarily known as a bass player, do you play any other instruments as well?
Yeah. So I'm pretty across the board. I'm sort of a jack of all trades sort of person, you know, which is really useful for my YouTube stuff, really, because I can make my own backing tracks, do my own little bit of singing and stuff. I mean, I used to work for Gear for Music, and they used to have me playing like sitars and absolutely all sorts of, you know, mandolin and weird like slide dobro guitar and stuff. So harmonica and even accordion, my God. So I had to learn pretty quick just how to get a tune out of these things, just to, you know, make content for them. So yeah, I'm mainly a bass player, and I was World Bassist of the Year 2020. I only mention it every 20 minutes.
That's amazing. That is amazing. So, like with the YouTube stuff, how do you sustain always being able to have content available? You know, because like, do you ever kind of like run out of things to like talk about or show?
So sometimes, because I do videos every day, you know, I do little shorts every day, and sometimes I'll be stood there in front of the camera, ready to record, thinking, what the hell am I going to talk about today? You know what I mean? So, and often I have such a, you know, wonderful fan base who I encourage to send me things all the time. And often just a little video or something I see or an idea that someone sent just sparks it off for me. And then pretty quickly from there, I get the ball rolling. I can think of something to say.
Yeah.
I've had this about 20 years. I've got a little notebook and I write down every single funny thing I've ever heard. And I write it down. And just in case I need some inspiration, I look in there and use that for inspiration.
Oh, amazing. Is there any particular gear that's really floating your boat at the moment?
I have discovered my Electro Voice RE20 mic. I absolutely love that thing.
Oh, it's a microphone. I thought you were going to like.
Oh, you're talking. I thought you meant for YouTube. Oh, sorry.
No, I'm talking like something that you'd be like something from outer space. You know what I mean? A time machine type of pedal or something.
It's funny you should mention that. I mean, I've just been on stage with something called the Mind Bender.
There you go. Tell me about the Mind Bender.
This is what you wanted.
Yeah.
So. And I got Johnny Dibble, who's another bass YouTuber, to come on stage, and so it's a bass guitar sort of, but instead of moving up and down to change the sound, you push the strings down and up. It's got two bridges on it, and so wherever you play, it doesn't matter. It's all about pushing it down or bringing it back up again.
Oh, wow.
It's mental. I'll show you if you've got time.
That's
It's crazy.
crazy.
So yeah, that's someone from America.
Is it going to catch on?
invented this.
What's your thing? Do you think it's going to catch on?
No.
But you know what? It'll go down in history. Go
Yeah.
down like a clon or something. You know,
Yeah.
it'll be like £1 million. So whoever makes that, they got to save number one for themselves.
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
their retirement plan, isn't it?
Yeah.
So being in this industry, right? And so you talking about content, you always got to kind of come up with something. What inspired you to kind of get into playing in the first place? What keeps your passion burning?
Yeah, I've none of my family are musicians,
No.
and it's strange how I don't know. It's just come very, very naturally to me. I feel like I was sort of born with, I've got very good. It's not perfect pitch or anything. I've got like very good relative pitch. I feel like it was already in my mind, and I just had to, make my fingers do the right thing, sort of thing.
Yeah.
And my dad's just been a huge music fan, so he showed me from an early age. He played me Beatles and the Stranglers and all the punk stuff, but he also showed me like Pavarotti and all these opera singers and stuff. So I had like such a wide variety of stuff. So I've always just loved music. I've always wanted to learn. And I've another aspect is I've always wanted to avoid the job centre.
Yeah.
I got stuck in there for a couple of years. So.
See, I think all proper musicians do. They've all got to go to job centre, and then they've got to be kicked off as well.
Yeah.
Like, we're not doing anything for you anymore.
Yeah.
Like, oh, no, I got to make it. You
now
know
I'm
what I
gonna
mean?
give it a go.
Right. So you mentioned something there which I thought was really interesting. Support of parents. Do you think the support of parents for young players is important, or can they just do it without anybody being interested?
I mean, coming from quite a punk rock background, it's something where it can work both ways. Of course, it helps from the support of your parents if they buy you an instrument or if they give you encouraging words. Another side of that is if you want to rebel against your parents, the way to do it is get a guitar and crank it up, man, and, write some songs. So it really can work either way. And it's quite funny because I've had both, because my mum really wasn't into music. She's not a music fan. She's still asking me to this day when I'm going to get a proper job. Do you know what I mean? So,
My parents too.
Yeah. So I honestly think, of course it can be very, very helpful. But in the other side of it is, you can rebel against the things that make you angry through music.
Yeah. I mean, I've never really rebelled, right?
No.
I have to say, I've been doing music for so long. I've never rebelled. I've questioned things. I'm like, that doesn't sound right. And what is that? Rather than like, I've never rebelled against my parents and stuff. My parents, my family, no music. Didn't even own a record player, right?
Right.
So completely not. They bought us a record player so we could listen to records, right? We asked for it as kids. And my brother was probably more inspirational because he was the one that was first in the line to buy records, right? So in that sense, but I found the encouragement of my father really was really important because I was so young and we couldn't afford guitar lessons and I couldn't afford the gear and all this kind of stuff. But he always was like, you're doing the right thing. I'm impressed with this. And so he didn't have the money and he didn't have the knowledge and he didn't have all these things. But what he did have was the encouragement to go. And even when I was like leaving school and I didn't have a job and all this type of thing, he was never like, don't play that music. You've got to work in the factory. He was always like, I believe in you to do it. Yeah. Right. There's obviously different solutions. I think it was really important to me. I don't think I would be who I am today without that encouragement. Yeah. Rebellion to me has always been a different thing. I mean, my rebellion was like riding a motorbike and having really long hair and covered in oily leathers and all that type of thing. That was where my mum was a bit upset.
Yeah.
That was like, I don't care what you think about me, I'm this, right? So that was my rebellion. It was like, it was being a biker in a way. So, we're talking about lifestyles and things like that. What about you as in when you're at home, right? How do you kind of use your time, right? Because obviously you've got lots of different income streams, different ways of playing in, like online, all this stuff. But when you're actually at home, do you kind of switch the computer off and kind of watch Netflix, or do you like read autobiographies? Do you create stuff, make photography? What's your vibes? I think my problem is that I do get too involved with work, and because
people constantly sending me things and whatever. I'm constantly scrolling through videos and looking through work stuff, even when I'm trying not to work. So this year I'm really trying to find the balance more and seeing what I do. I now own 3 books. I've bought 3 books to read this year.
What books you got?
It is the biography of Ade Edmondson. You know Ade
Yeah,
Edmondson?
yeah.
He's from Bradford like me. I've got that. I've got something called, I think it's called Hammer of the Gods, which is a
Led
weird...
Zeppelin,
No,
yeah.
it's not. It's not Led Zeppelin. It's a weird... it's about ancient aliens.
Oh, okay then. All right then. So it's not the Led Zeppelin as we know. And what's the other? What's the third book?
The third book, it's the Undertones. So I'm a big Undertones fan, and the bass player's like written, because that for me is like really is the glory days of music around that era. And what might not seem fascinating to them, there's stories of like getting stuck on a train platform at 5 a.m. and having to sleep on a bench, and I'm just like, oh, it sounds great. Probably wasn't.
Yeah.
But I'm fascinated by all those kind of rock and roll stories.
I love that. I read autobiographies all of the time. I just literally, that's all I'm ever doing.
Yeah.
I've got the Van Halen one to go next, right?
Nice.
I would suggest a great one to you, which is so irresponsible. It's the Pete Way one.
Oh,
I think it's
wow.
called A Fast Way Out of Nowhere or something like this, right? That's so irresponsible, that book. It could only exist in rock and roll,
Yeah.
So I would recommend that.
Right.
Talking about undertones, I was with my daughter the other day in North Finchley in London at Waitrose, right? She wanted to get some ingredients to bake a cake.
Yeah.
So we came out and we were talking about famous people or something,
Yeah.
right? And Fergal Sharkey is in the car park.
yeah.
And I said to her, he's famous. And she said, who is he? And I said, he's a singer from a band called The Undertones. She goes, go and say hello to him. I said, no. She goes, why not? And she goes, I said, because I don't know him. She goes, go on, you should talk to him. You should talk. Nope, not talking to him, right? So anyway, we let him go on his way. So then we're walking through town like a couple of days later, and the guitarist from the Brand New Heavies is there, right?
yeah.
Standing in the street, and I goes, he's famous. He's from Brand New Heavies. And she made me go up and talk to him. And I said, I'm not going to do it, right? I know people who know him, like Cass and whatnot.
Yeah.
So she just goes on her phone, she quickly Googles him, and she goes up to him and goes, hey, are you so-and-so? And he's like, yeah. And she goes, my dad's in a band, blah, blah.
Oh, brilliant.
And introduces me to him, right?
Genius.
And it was lovely. It was such a nice moment, But what about, so let's talk about being starstruck, right? You're in the industry now, you're a player, you're known, you're at this show. Do you still get starstruck by famous people?
Oh,
Who would knock you out if you saw him in here?
If Paul McCartney walked in here,
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
that would be quite a shock, because it is a strange one. I claim to never be starstruck, right? I met Rod Stewart, and I was like, it's just a human being to me. It really is. But I think it's going to hit me one day where I'm going to meet someone, and I think it's going to be one of these old, maybe aging sort of 60s legends, 50s or 60s, because the truth is that, like, it feels like another world to me, because I love my 50s to 70s music.
Yeah.
It feels like those people don't really exist outside of, like...
That's the old days, isn't it? Pop stars were these like untouchable people. Now they're real people.
Exactly. And it's so, you can see into everyone's daily lives almost now with social media, whereas these people, there's something different, there's something special about them. So I think, any of these old rock and roll stars, man.
Yeah. I did a TV show once, and we were sound checking, and Paul McCartney comes over to me joking, and he goes, "Oh, it's a bit loud. Can you turn it down?" And I said to him, "Dude, you started it all off."
Yeah.
So I know what you mean. So, what about? So there's the pop stars. You're the person that would kind of bring you to your knees in a way, right? What about unsung heroes? Tell me about someone that we don't know about who pioneered something, who was an unsung hero from the past.
Unsung hero. Oh, okay. So, let me have a good think. There's a really cool punk band called The Monks. Right?
Okay, yeah.
This is a bit of a obscure one, but they were doing such different music in the 1960s. They shaved their head like monks, so they had a big bald patch on the top.
Yeah.
And they'd have the hair down here. And at the time, this was like 1965, 66, and everyone else looked like the Beatles.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? And it is the most bizarre thing to see, because this is not something that you can have to walk down the street and you've still got the monk haircut. Do you know what I mean? They took it really seriously.
You have to have some hats going with that band.
So there's them. I am going to still stick with the Undertones, man. I absolutely love them, and I feel like they're really unsung. And all these punk festivals you see now, they've got the Sex Pistols getting back together and all that, and the Undertones always outperform all the other bands.
I'll tell you a story about Undertones. You know BP Herding, the drummer?
Yeah.
Right? When Skunk Anansie went in and recorded our third album, the big one, Postal Cosmic Chill, we did it in Bearsville in America.
Right.
He was the chef for the session. So we were BP every day. It was
wow.
such a laugh. It was amazing. So we spent like a month or something with BP,
Wow.
with him cooking all the food. And that's what he was doing in Woodstock in America.
That's amazing.
Isn't that brilliant? I think he was in X-Ray Specs as well, actually, wasn't he, at some point?
Right. Oh, that's
It's amazing.
awesome.
You're talking about unsung heroes. You know who I really like as a player, who I don't ever really thought, I mean, he was famous, but he's passed away now, is Bernie Tormé.
Yeah.
Bernie Tormé, right, from Gillan and all that lot, right?
Yeah.
He was like a Jimi Hendrix type of vibe. If you listen to his playing and his guitar playing, it was like with the whammy bar and his sounds, really amazing, right? But he never had a really good recorded sound, I don't think, in his career.
No.
But he's one of those people, if you mention him, no one would know who you're talking about,
No,
but
you
I
see,
still listen to that
I
guy.
know the name, but I don't really know him that well. I couldn't really name what he'd been on. No.
Yeah, if I recommend a track for you then, right? No Easy Way, right, by Gillan.
Okay.
Right, it's from the Gillan album, No Easy Way. There's a bit of music to it where he plays a guitar, right, on its own before it goes into the song. It's crazy. It's amazing. It's like, and it's way back in the day.
Sorry, I'm getting repeated calls. Do you mind if I just take this really quick? Hello, I'm just doing this podcast.
That's so weird. I am on a podcast. Mum.
Okay. Right. Okay. Right. I won't be long. Yeah.
He'll be with you in 5 minutes.
Okay. Right. What I'm being asked to do is, can I run and sign some photographs and come back to you?
You can go and do it now. We're going to finish on this. This is going to be brilliant.
Right. I'm coming in 2 minutes.
Okay, that's a great way to finish. All right, then. I love that. Excuse me, I got a call coming. It's Beyonce. Right. Okay, so I'm going to say that's a great way to end, because obviously your fame is there and you're being called by your fans to go and sign stuff. So enjoy the rest of the show. If you're here tomorrow, I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for talking to us. It has been an absolute pleasure. Go and see your public.
All right.
Okay, thanks for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed today's podcast.
And don't forget to like and subscribe.